Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Angry Cast and Satisfactory. How y'all doing? Whew, we got a mess, and it's going to be a mess for a little bit. We've got several different things happening right now. But let's first things first. We have enough stuff to complete Tier 7, the first milestone, which is Bauxite Refinement, which we need 50 computers, 100 heavy modular frames, 200 motors, and 500 rubber. So let's send that off because we got some other things we want to do. We're going to get at least 2 done today. And boy, do we have a lot of things we're going to have to get done. So let's go ahead and push the button, get her done. And we got a milestone unlocked. We got 10 minutes. So we already had some of the stuff because of the MAM research that we got it unlocked for. And as you still see, we still have to get through this stuff here. Yeah, processes. We've unlocked everything. We still have Caterium to finish off, which we have to, we have to supply these things, but we have to do this first in order to get there. So we're not, that's kind of like on a ways. In order to get to the phase 4 stuff for the space elevator, we're going to have to wait, because we can't get there until we get some of this stuff unlocked, because the recipes we need for the assembly director system, the supercomputer, which we know how to do them. We know how to. We've already figured them out, either because we got unlocked from the MAM, or we unlocked from turning in scanning hard drives. But moreover, this is where we're going next, and we have almost enough stuff here. So let's go grab that stuff and get it ready. We've got the the hardened. Let's where do we have? We need. Yeah, I think that we need 50 of those. 50 of them. 50 of them. Then we need 200. So okay, we have to get some more stuff. We're starting to run out of some things that we've been lousy with for a while. And also, let's take a little quick look at. I set up the blueprint factory to sort of start maybe turning some of this spaghetti mess into actual little factories. And I kind of have an idea of how I want to do things, but at the same time, I'm not good at this. I am definitely not. I mean, look at that horrible mess, and all that's doing is making concrete. And again, my idea was to have these little modular factories that are making items, just one item, and storing it. As you can see here, we've got an entire factory that leads out to this output that all it does is create concrete and store it. So we've got 4 inputs here, two splitters taking in concrete down here, or taking in, limestone here, turning it into concrete and pushing it up through the belt system and into this 4 high stacks. So there's 4 times 4, 16 things, and so far we are only onto the second container. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 filled, almost 8 filled if you take them all together. But like I said, this is horrible. I mean, this is not an efficient use of space. The design is terrible. I was just messing around, and I really don't care. But also, when you do these blueprints, I don't know that it's because I'm on the experimental update, the experimental build, because not everything comes back out. Like when you do the blueprint and you save it, and then you go and you paste it somewhere onto like your structure, like you go into your build menu, pick up your blueprint, and you have these. And a couple of these I downloaded. I downloaded this one, and I downloaded this one for later use. But I built a screw factory, I built a concrete factory, I did a 4x4, so I can you load that in. You load this into your blueprint, and then you build on top of it. So I just have these little simple things going on, and I'll show you the screw whenever they're while we're waiting for stuff to happen. But all that's doing is taking the concrete from an unused concrete deposit, or a limestone deposit I wasn't doing, and just turning it into for later use, because I'm going to need it for building all of the structures, because these are not cheap. Concrete for the walls and for the platforms and all that stuff. It's not going to be cheap to build factories or roads or anything like that. So that's what we want to do. Now we're doing pretty good on other things, and I've started to put in a lot of power shards and really amp up production. And we are really sucking some power down. We're nowhere near still going to be a problem, and we're making, at the maximum capacity is almost 5,000, and we're only consuming about half of that at the like, you know, it fluctuates because not everything's running at one time. When these things turn yellow, they're not producing anything. Like these things are on a pause because there's no space. So I'm not really worried about this. In fact, I might get rid of all this to save on some power, since I have an entire factory going on over there. I also increased, you can see off in the distance, Caterium. I found a second deposit up on top of that ridge that's feeding into a smelter and to a constructor to make wire that's coming all the way over here back up into the system and being used for making one of the items. I can't think of them off the top of my brain. I think it's like the AI limiter, and then the other one's being taken over here for use in making high-speed connectors. Why do I need those? Because we're making supercomputers. Supercomputers are going to be important to us because that's going to be one of the things we need to use to make, I think, the assembly director system. And that and we're using we're out of something. We're out of plastic, which we have to go get plastic. So that's the other problem. I'm having to run back and forth. So it's taking a lot of time to do all this because I don't want to just truck everything from one place to the other because it gets kind of messy. Although I have been doing it, but I'm trying to do it with the Mark IV belts, which means I have to have a lot of reinforced concrete on hand, which is being made over there. So let's take a little jaunt over to look at, while we're waiting for the pod, let's look at the screw factory I want to show you. So there was a bunch of other nodes over here. There's some copper, iron, and limestone. So this entire area, this flattened out area, is a great place for you to have a starter factories going on. If you like, I set up on that ridge up here, but this is another place that's really great because you got all these items here, and you have a ton. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this, but you have a ton. Where are we at here? We're here. You've got normal, three normal iron nodes. You've got 2 normal copper. You've got there's a, I don't know why it's not showing me, but there's more. There's a pure concrete. There's a normal, and I'm sorry, normal limestone and a normal copper up there, but there's also behind here, and you can see I have turned the iron one into a screw factory. But there's also a limestone over here as well. Where did it go? My goodness, I know I have it here somewhere. I know there it is over here. But there's another normal iron here, and there's also a normal limestone. So there's plenty of starter factory possibilities over in this area, but I took it upon myself to turn this into like just building up of resources to have around. But I also built with the blueprint designer a screw factory. All this is doing is making screws, right? This is all iron, and just like the concrete one, we've sort of got this idea that all it's going to do is make screws. Yeah. And we're down onto the we've got 4 done, and we're down onto the second one, but those are all going to fly over to here and then come down. And I don't know why this didn't work the way the other one did. I'm trying to do different things with them, and I think I'm screwing them up. So they're nice to have, but they're not. They're somewhat hard. But I want to do these like little things. Like, okay, if I'm going to go to a new place, I need to have certain items. So let's just plop down a screw factory. Because you have to use lots of screws. Plop down a limestone factory. Lots of some concrete you need for stuff like that. And I kind of had this all planned out for bigger stuff, and it just never happened. But there's the copper ones over there as well. So I have this happening. I have this going, and I kind of need. And I'm going to need screws. Like I said, I was running out of screws. I've actually been using up a lot of these items because we have so many things to build for Space Elevator 4 operation and everything leading up to that. We have to build all that stuff before we can even complete the Space Elevator Phase 4. So I'm going to be running out of the things I never ran out of before, like screws or cables or plating, stuff like that. Things that I took for granted for the first, half of this playthrough, I'm going to start running out of real quickly unless I keep a healthy supply. And to do that, I've just had these little ancillary things being done while I'm waiting for things in the background, trying to toy around with blueprints and stuff like that. So that's been sort of the marching orders, as it were. But you can see my original screw factory over here was based off of Total Eclipse's design and was working really great. And we have just tons of screws, and we're using the steel cast screws, so it's not even irons to rods to screws, it's iron ingots to screws. And I mean, as you can see, we've exhausted almost the entire thing. Well, no, we're pretty good actually. Okay, so we can really borrow from that then. Okay, so it looks like the hub is back. Let's work on getting this other blueprint, or I'm sorry, this other milestone turned in. So if I can make it active, I can then start pushing stuff in. Select it, there we go, and then give it what we need, give it what we need, give it what we need, and then we have 50 supercomputers, which we did make. So now I still need 150 heavy modular frames and like 500 concrete. Those are simple. Those are things I have already just sitting around. But where? There we go. 500 concrete. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Well, but we did. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, that should be enough to get us there. Turn it in, we all win. Okay. Boom. And boom. Push the button. Get her going. Let's go. Another 15 minutes. Now we've unlocked nuclear power. We are not even touching. We are not touching nuclear power just yet.
You can now set up nuclear power generation, which balances an increase of fuel production complexity with improved power output.
Problem is, we need water and waterfalls and all kinds of stuff. Moving water. Yeah, and we have to figure out what to do with nuclear waste. Now, you can take nuclear waste and turn it into like a two-step process into something that you can put into the sink. You have to get rid of it, and the problem is that you have to put that into a place where you're not going to have to go near, because you will be taking on severe radiation. I've wandered around and found the uranium nodes, and I have got to make a hazmat suit before we do anything else, because I don't know that I have the hazmat suit yet. Do I? No, we don't. We don't get the hazmat suit. Where do we get the hazmat suit at? Huh. Yeah, that's not cool. Oh, the hazmat suits, it's number 7. We have to do the bauxite stuff because aluminum casings is involved in it. I can make these 2 items, but I need the bauxite stuff. And I already know where there's some bauxite. I just haven't claimed it yet because I couldn't get to it early on when I found it, but I know where it's at. So that's where we're going to be setting up. So now that we got that going on, we don't have anything yet that we can set up as far as the assembly. The assembly director is, I think, supercomputer, right? No. Oh, no, we can make this one. We don't have enough stuff for it yet. But the supercomputer and the radio-controlled unit we can make. Yeah. Wow. This is going to be fun. Boy. Okay, give me a second here. Until we get to aeronautical engineering, which we can do drones, that's when we unlock the assembly director system. And the other items, the modular, was it the turbo something or other? Nuclear pasta is one of them, definitely. And then thermal propulsion rockets. That's the other one. There's a fourth one, which is the well, we just looked at the generator that we have already unlocked, but we don't have enough stuff to do it because we have to figure out uranium, and that's going to be maybe an episode or two later. But let's go ahead and give you kind of an idea what we're doing here. So we had our computers being made, and I changed them to the alternate recipe because I had to keep going to get plastic, and that's pretty far away at this point. But everything I need to make the Caterium computer, I was, like I said, I was running out of screws, so I still have to go get the rubber, but I have one less item, and it's stuff that I can get to. Now the supercomputer itself, yeah, that's kind of a problem. I did the same thing with, I switched over from the alternate heavy flexible frame to the heavy modular frame because I kept running out of rubber. So yeah, that's not cool. So like I said, it was a lot easier. These 4 items I have within spitting distance here because of all my pipes coming in over there. I've got concrete, I've got screws, I got everything here for it. So that's why I chose that one. Like I said, I still got I got this one over here making high-speed connectors, and I've still got parts over here being made for some of the stuff. So I've taken all the things we've done up until now, and now I have them running in the background. Now, of course, you know, if you were playing the game the way you should do, you can just set up these little, you should be spread out across the map by now, and running things off of different, build on, and then you build on, and then you keep moving it to the next level. Haven't done that. I'm still operating in the same space, and I'm just making this space worse. It's not a great feeling, and one day I hope to clean it all up. But for now, we're going to continue to just keep doing what we're doing because it's working for us at this moment. It's a lot of me running around. It's a lot of manual labor on my part to go get stuff and move it because I don't have everything automated. And I'm doing it off camera, so you don't have to feel the pain. But yeah, it's definitely, this is the part of the game that's making me crazy. Because look at it right now. I'm not even doing that fast with things moving. I'm only taking one sheet now. What's going on here? There we go. A little bit better. Wee! Zing! Zing! I'm not doing anything the way I should be doing. I'm just throwing power shards and stuff. I'm not making these things as efficient as they can be because I need resources. And I don't care how I get them. I mean, we are right now not doing great for cable. We use a lot of it, stringing stuff up and making other items. So I may have to go and turn an entire, I think the next thing I'm going to do is start making a cable factory for copper, and make it a totally efficient cable factory blueprint, and set it down somewhere and be good. But I got to start looking at the uranium stuff and the nuclear power in order to offset, because unless I find some more oil or geysers or something else, we're going to start running out of power. And again, it's taking a lot of time to set these things up and get them going. So maybe the next thing I do is also make some little blueprints up for individual pieces of coal generator, for power and for fuel, and start having those so I can just go plop those down whenever I find stuff. It's a process. And now, and in my entire finding of alternate recipes is on hold because I have some hard drives to scan, but the problem is that I waste 10 minutes if I don't find what I like. I want to re-roll the outcome, but that takes 10 minutes away from me building stuff that I need for these projects. So that's kind of a sad thing too. But yeah, so that's pretty much what we're doing right now. Ooh, geez, he says falling. And I'm loving the backpack or the jetpack, but I can't wait to get to the hover machine, whatever it is, because that'll be cool too. But I think it requires a little more research on things and building stuff, and we're not there yet. So, Alrighty, I'll get out of your hair for a while and go do some work. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please support the channel any way you can. Either buy some merch, buy me a coffee, become a patron. I don't really expect to become a patron, but you can do a one-time donation. But we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.